Jesus left that place and went to the vicinity of Tyre. He entered a house and did not want anyone to know it, yet he could not keep his presence secret. For 7 chapters, Jesus has been in the area of Galilee. Why does he suddenly up sticks and leave? Well, the reason is that he's desperately trying to get time alone to grieve for his cousin and to recharge his batteries. And he realizes he won't get it unless he leaves the country, and so he does. He goes off to Tyre by the Mediterranean. He went to Tyre because he was tired. And he goes into a house and puts on a do not disturb sign. But it doesn't work. A woman whose little daughter was possessed by an impure spirit came and fell at his feet. The woman was a Syrian Phoenician. She begged Jesus to drive the demon out of her daughter. This is the shocking story. It contains 4 shocks, 3 of them for the disciples, 1 of them for us. The first shock is that Jesus talks to a non-Jewish woman. Now, in 7 chapters, he has only once ever spoken to a woman, and in 7 chapters, he's never once spoken to anyone who wasn't Jewish. So this is a real shock to them. The second shock is a shock to us. It's how he speaks to the woman. First, let the children eat all they want, he told her, for it is not right to take the children's bread and toss it to the dogs. He's calling her a dog. This is incredibly shocking to us with all we know about Jesus. It wasn't at all shocking to the disciples. I can almost hear the sigh of relief as he talks like that, because they're accustomed to think of themselves as better than Gentiles. Some of them even use the word dogs. This dates back 2 centuries at least, when the famous Rabbi Yehuda Eli ruled that all Jewish men every morning must say the 3-fold blessing. I bless you, O Lord, that you have not made me a Gentile or a woman or a slave. Now right there you have racism, sexism and elitism in one sentence. And the disciples are quite comfortable with that because that's the milieu of Palestine at the time. Nobody is taking the knee in Palestine. Nevertheless, it's disturbing to us that Jesus talks in what appears to be a racist, unkind, exclusive way. The third shock comes when the woman answers him back. Lord, she replied, even the dogs under the table eat the children's crumbs. A woman never argued with a rabbi. Women in the synagogue were required to sit at the back and keep quiet. And the 4th shock comes when Jesus accepts her words and gives her what she wants. Then he told her, for such a reply you may go. The demon has left your daughter. She went home and found her child lying on the bed and the demon gone. And the disciples were shocked to their core. But we need to deal with the one that shocked us. Jesus' apparently racist, unkind, exclusive answer. Why did he talk like that to her? Well, I'll suggest 3 reasons. The first is I think he was setting up the disciples for their first lesson in racism. And he allows this 3 times unacceptable person. She's a woman, she's a Gentile, and she's a foreigner. He allows her to give them their first lesson in what it's going to be like under the new covenant. Paul later puts it by saying there will be neither Jew nor Greek, male nor female, bond nor free. He's deliberately giving the lie to Rabbi Yehuda's famous prayer. And what a long journey it's going to be for these disciples. Poor Peter, it's going to be such a difficult journey. And this Gentile woman is chosen to give him his first lesson. The second reason is that, as always, Jesus looks at the person in front of him and reads them. And as he looks at this woman, he sees a highly intelligent, very feisty, even witty woman who will benefit from the argument, and she does. And she gives this amazing answer. Even the dogs can eat the scraps from under the children's table. And that answer reveals a great humility. She says, I acknowledge that the Jews are the chosen people. Compared to them, we are dogs. But she also shows her deep need. We can surely eat the scraps from under the table. Jesus is so impressed with her reply. He actually says, I'm so impressed with your logos, your word, that he gives her what she needs. And thirdly, I think Jesus is doing what he often did. He requires the person to work out and express their faith before he gives them what they want. And then he does. I really like this 17th century painting of the story. Look at the disciples in the top left. Look at the horror on Peter's face. He's got a long journey ahead of him. And then look at the composition between Jesus and the woman. She's kneeling. She's kneeling before her God in complete humility. And look at Jesus leaning towards her, his hand out. Not 1 ounce of rejection or racism there. And notice that she has a dog, admittedly a 17th century greyhound. But look how she leans to the dog. She loves that dog. And look how the dog is actually protecting her. It won't be that big an insult to say to her, you're a dog, because she loves dogs. And she knows that dogs can sometimes be better than human beings. But most of all, look at her face. There's not an ounce of offense or feeling rejected in that face. I believe because there wasn't an ounce of rejection or racism in Jesus' tone or demeanor. But most of all, look at the corner of her mouth. There's a little smile there. She's enjoying the argument. She believes she can win it. She's the only person in all the Gospels who engages Jesus in an argument and wins. And she believes she's going to get what she needs from the Lord of all nations.